Hey, welcome back everyone. We've got more Age of Empires here, and the map is Hill and Dale. I'm playing against my opponent 2 Hyperion, and I'm playing as the opposite. My opponent's playing as the English. Running into a lot of English these days. I mean, it's a popular civilization. It's pretty simple and straightforward, so we're going to be running into a lot of them. That and a lot of French opponents. I've been seeing them pop up a lot as well. These are matches from in between the ranked seasons, so this is just me doing some quick match. And on Hill and Dale, you've got a pretty safe base up here on a plateau, so there's going to be a lot of greedy economic builds coming here. That's why I like to play as the opposite here. I'm going to be putting my second town center down around these deer, and we should be good to go. Made 2 scouts because I always want to know what my opponent is up to. And also, denying English players sheep early on can be nice. Usually they can make their farms, which are very cheap and very effective. So food's not typically an issue for them. But we're going to bring these sheep home. We'll probably be aging up here shortly. Looks like we're just short a little food. Looks like there's the age up. And he's going to start harassing one of my villagers here at the gold. If this happens, you can just pull your villager away to do something else closer to the town center. A really safe job for injured villagers is to have them gather from deer. Or, sheep. Because you can herd the sheep right under your town center. I'm going to bring my scout forward. We'll duke it out with his scouts. But of course we're outnumbered. We'll back off a little bit. And it's just annoying, just doing a little bit of chip damage to my villagers. It's not too bad, and I think I even remembered to send a villager from my food over to my gold, because we don't want to slow down on our gold collection here. Oh wow, still harassing. I think I get lucky here. I pull his scout into my town center. Now he's going to think twice about harassing. Against the English, we're going to go stables first. We've already identified that he's going with the council hall, so there will be longbowmen. But we're going to keep sending the scouts out, because if we see spearmen or barracks, then we have to be extra cautious. That means he's likely going to go for a full-on ram push. And there's the barracks. So this could be one of 2 things. It could be some tower creep with a little bit of aggression, and my opponent could just do that to scare me at the front of my base, make things annoying for gathering from this wood line. Or my opponent is going to get a blacksmith, get siege engineering, and do a full-on ram push. With the full-on ram push, it's a bit more of an all-in, whereas the tower creep and kind of harassment, that's just sort of to buy them time until they can make it to the next age. He's wisely using his spearmen to just kind of shoo my horsemen away. And I'm just going to be as annoying as I can with them. Whenever I get a notification, I'll just circle them around. We're getting great vision here. 2 barracks and the council hall. I think that's a bit too much production right now for him. I doubt he can produce from these constantly. But it's only when my scout kind of doubles back here along with my horsemen. I mean, look at how many spearmen are here. And look at the longbowmen starting to come out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does have the production. You can see he's actually got a lot of food and wood. It looks like he's spending it now on military. So this is kind of scary. That's a lot of spearmen and a handful of longbowmen. That's very effective against what I have right now. We're finishing up our second town center. So basically, if we can reduce the amount of damage that we take from this army, then we will come out ahead. We didn't end up getting a wheelbarrow. I really should have researched that. And we're trying to gather as much wood as we can. It looks like we're trying to get an outpost down. We cannot engage with these spearmen. Of course, his spearmen are not going to have a fun time against my camel archers. They're extra effective versus spearmen. And I'm going to have to pull these villagers back a little bit, and I think I'm going to wall this off. I think that's a smart move. Oh, he's coming forward with more of the spearmen. And there's that outpost. Looks like there might be some outpost creep going on here. So he's just going to keep putting towers down. I'm rotating my lumber camp over here, and we've also got this little wood line here, so we can always pivot to that as well. We're getting down another archery range because it's feeling like he's going to be aggressive. There, that wall, I really like that wall. So now where can my opponent attack me? At this little gap here, which is somewhat defended by the town center. Go around this way to attack my gold, sure, but I probably just vacate it. And then this town center is kind of guarding this area. So wherever he goes, he's going to encounter structures that I can hide villagers in, or he can't get through, or he's going to take arrow fire. So we're setting up for a long defense here, but now my villagers are taking fire, and I'm wisely getting the textiles upgrade. Really like that textiles upgrade. Looks like he's trying to bait my units in, but he is taking a little bit of town center fire whenever he does that. And you can see the outposts beginning to creep forward. So this wood line's kind of lost, but fortunately we're already moving on to this one. So I'm going to safely be gathering wood, and we need the wood because we're just producing archers nonstop, and eventually we're going to need wood to make battering rams. Love this outpost here. We'll probably keep creeping them forward to try and meet his. He's coming forward. I should pull this villager. Oh, I really want that textiles upgrade. That would be really nice. We're just kind of shooing his units off. Just kind of telling the longbowman, hey, back off. Oh, but he is sniping villagers here. But yeah, he's taking fire. He's taking fire. Oh, in fact, we got a longbowman right there. Nice. So we're just still defending here. Yes, get this outpost up. We do still have a villager on stone. We do still have a villager on gold. So we're going to put a arrow slits in placement there. We're trying to harass in his base, but he kept a few spearmen back, and that's really smart. If you're playing as the English, always keep just a few spearmen back. Sometimes I'll like proxy a barracks and like put it maybe halfway across the map to harass my opponent early on. Maybe do spearmen and longbowmen. But then the moment things start to get a little long, I'll put another barracks down in my base as the English and rally spearmen to my wood line or my farms. Because the horseman counterattack can be painful. Okay, good. We're finally getting wheelbarrow. Love to see that. We're getting more archers. We're not really sure about his unit composition. All we're really seeing are these outposts and some spearmen. And we saw a bunch of longbowmen. I don't think he has any cavalry. I'm pretty sure he's just making these spearmen and the longbowmen. We're going to try and snipe some longbowmen here, but he wisely comes forward with the longbowmen. That's a painful trade right there. That's both of my camel archers. That's okay. Yeah, he cannot come forward anymore. We got this outpost right at this line. We've got my town center right at this line. And he's not doing any damage to this archer range, just taking arrow shots at it. And we're positioning horsemen around his base just to attack him when he finally commits, maybe on a ram push. But we're just kind of watching and waiting. We're going to put down a battering ram. And now with 23 villagers on wood, I might start to think about a transition to the castle age. Though with this aggression, I'm not sure. I think we snipe the... I think we're going to snipe the villager who's building this. That or he backs the villager off. Yeah, here's the harassment. Oh, we're losing horsemen to spearmen there. But we are getting a villager kill or two back here. Nice. Should probably back them off, tuck them back in a stealth forest. Okay, perfect. The battering ram's coming forward. It's providing vision of that villager. I bet it's going to get targeted by the... Oh, interesting. Yeah, the outpost saw the villager. Oh, he sent the villager forward to attack, and then the villager died. Wow. So the outpost never finishes. I'm just going to dance the battering ram back and forth. He's losing all of his spearmen. I know his longbowmen will outclass my archers, but who cares? Once he loses all his spearmen, he can't do anything about the battering ram. So we'll just keep my archers back and watching. Scout's doing a good job seeing what's going on. That's one outpost down. We'll eventually move on to these. The only problem are the spearmen. Once we snipe the spearmen, we're good. Yeah, now we can send in the horsemen. Yup. Yeah, his spearman does great against my horseman, but look at this. Now that we're on top of his archers, look at that. Getting great damage on these archers. Yeah, he has to retreat them inside the outposts. And now we've done exactly what we wanted. Now the ram can just go to work. This battering ram is paying itself off. Love it. Meanwhile, it looks like, yeah, we're going to do our transition to the Castle Age. So we're going to go for a mill here. We're probably going to start to rally to gold up here. Yep, that's a lot of villagers on gold. Maybe too many. Yeah, it looks like I'm a little up on gold. We're trying to just take out the spearmen. I'm target firing spearmen with my archers, hopefully. Because these horsemen do so good versus his longbowmen. Look at that. We're just kind of dancing back and forth, and finally I get enough to go to the third age. We're spotting his gold. He doesn't have any villagers on it, so either he's maybe moved to a new gold source or he's not trying to go to the Castle Age. It's confusing. I really recommend this if you're up against all these English longbowmen. Just get a few horsemen. They're very powerful. Once you thin out his spearman numbers, you can send them in, and his longbowmen, they kind of panic. They don't know what to do. Secured this section with a wall, so all these berries are going to be ours. We love that. Still teching up, still a bit too many on gold, and it looks like we got a lot of idle villagers. Yep, on my food. Need to send them probably to wood or stone. Looks like we're going stone and gold. Okay, we're going really mineral heavy here. I think in my mind, if I can make it to the Castle Age and get 850 stone, then he can't push any more forward until he gets to the Castle Age. If I can just put a castle right here, he can't do anything. He has to get rams. He has to get trebuchets. Good. Walling off this section. That'll mean the only entrance to my base is right here, and we're already kind of posturing there. I think we really would have ran into trouble if he started to extend the outposts up this way. Cut me off from these berries and this gold, but instead he's just kind of focused on this wood line here. He's probably putting up more outposts just back here, but we're not too worried about it because we've survived. We're going to the Castle Age. We're a little in the dark. We're just kind of blindly producing units, but now that we're in the Castle Age, we'd love to get that preservation of knowledge. Yep, there it is. And we need more lumber. There we go. Glad to see these villagers working away. It looks like we already chopped down these trees. And with these longbowmen here and more outposts, I really don't like these villagers chopping wood here. Let's see. I like the horsemen. Oh, damn. These longbowmen are starting to really do damage. Now I'm kind of considering engaging. The reason for this is I'm starting to get Castle Age units reinforcing. Like once this man-at-arms engages with his army, I mean, he's such a tanky unit. His units are going to do very little. Oh, look at that. He's taking a lot of arrow fire, and he doesn't know it from this outpost here and this town center here. He should not be trading here. It looks like a bad trade for me since all my cavalry are getting attacked by spearmen. But the spearmen are taking so much arrow fire here. Yeah, I'm losing my cavalry, but it's okay. We're still firing arrows. And now look at the man-at-arms that are remaining. Look at how long it takes his units just to kill one of them. If we can get a mangonel up, I should really use my infantry here to make a mangonel. And there's the castle, or the keep, I should say. We should use our units to defend it and probably rotate my villagers over to the right. More under this town center, yeah, or else we're going to take fire. It's good they got the textiles upgrade. So now we're kind of tempting him like, do you want to engage with my units? Losing villagers up here. Glad we got the textiles again. It's so useful. We've got the extra health. And yeah, they're taking a lot of arrow fire. Oof. Lancer's not doing great. And there's the keep. It's taking out his units. He can't really come forward, but I'm worried he's going to have vision of my wood line here pretty soon. Oh, and we've actually chopped through. That's awkward. Yeah, the longbowmen or the man-at-arms are so tanky. He really needs vision on the other side here. Then he can start firing at all of these villagers. Eventually, we're going to chop through a little too far. Nice. Every time we get vision over here, all these villagers just start taking shots. Yeah, it's looking like we're pushing them back, but oof. Looks like this villager scared off some of mine. I think this is when I'm realizing this is not a safe place for villagers to be chopping. Like, look, it's killing off my villagers. I'm going to rotate my entire wood line up and around. Yeah, here we go. So all these villagers are just going to vacate. Yeah, we need to get all of them out. Yeah, all of them. You all need to go. Yep. So we're going to grab all these villagers and we're going to just pivot over to here. And since that's my new resource gathering spot, I'm going to send some units out. But soon enough, I'll be sending military units over here. And yeah, we're securing it with some outposts as well. Would love to get another ram. That'd be good here. These units aren't really doing anything to this fortified outpost. But we've got a Springald emplacement on this outpost. So as his units come forward, oof, that's painful. Great damage there. Let's check our upgrades. Looks like we went with double blacksmith. Wow, and we burned through all of our gold getting upgrades. Our units are incredibly elite. These are incredibly strong units. They've got all their upgrades. Oh, the man-at-arms are particularly scary. Oh, I'm still losing villagers here. That's so annoying. Yeah, would love to get another battering ram, but honestly, we're in a great position. We can just keep getting upgrades. We can keep expanding our economy. And you'll notice that we're expanding kind of horizontally. Since he kind of blocked this choke point here, instead we're expanding here and taking the available resources, such as this stone, these berries. And over here, we're taking this wood line, these deer. And yes, love this stone wall, because we have a bunch of spare stone. Would love to see, yeah, a full wall off there. That's great. And, yep, I even sent villagers out on the map. So we're actually going to take this wood line and try to secure this relic. Because we can start playing the religious game. It's going to be a little awkward since he's got all these towers out front. So we'll need to be careful about rallying our imams. That's looking good. Yeah, and there's the last of the level 2 upgrades. So we've got really good units. Looks like we're finally getting a battering ram down. Love it. Okay. We'll knock out this outpost and move on to some of the others. And I'll remind you, my opponent is still in the feudal age. Like, we've been in the castle age for some time now. And we're really taking advantage of our preservation of knowledge because we're getting all these economic upgrades. Horticulture, specialized pick. We're going to be gathering incredibly quickly. This outpost is almost done. Yeah, now we're going in. Get that battering ram in there. If he brings the longbowman forward, we pull all our units back and just let the ram do the work. Yep. Meanwhile, my outpost sniping his longbowman. Oof. There we go. Let's bust out of here. We're going to send it on to this outpost now. Remember, if he sends his units forward, I'd be happy to engage. Yeah, here they come. Am I going to engage? That's a big question. Looks like I might have just forgotten about these units. Or the battering ram. Whatever. We can make more. We took out one outpost. We'll take out the next. In the meanwhile, we're going to pivot our units. Since we've built this section over here, we now have several exits to our base. Okay, finally, opponent reaches the castle age. That was pretty far behind. I'm feeling pretty good. We even got a third town center up. Just hit 1,000 stones. We can drop another keep wherever we want. Opponent likely went for the King's Palace to try and catch up on villagers. We're going to see if we can't keep him behind on villagers with this small, kind of harassing force. Still haven't seen anything but spearmen and longbowmen from him, so let's try and get a siege, 2 siege workshops, and let's just make mangonels and man-at-arms. The longbowmen aren't that effective versus man-at-arms, so we can just start spitting them out. And we have so many on wood. We have 53 villagers on wood. We're probably going to see, clumps of these units going off and building mills. And we should already have, or about to have, the agriculture upgrade. Nice. Yes, there's the transition to farms that we're looking for. And it's in a pretty safe spot. Although it looks like we're starting to chop through here. We're also sending another force around. We've pretty much vacated our base because I don't think he's coming forward into this keep. Need to get some houses down, but oh, there's some villager kills. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the final one, 8. That's the full farming operation there. Sending these units to the wood line, didn't find anything. You can start to burn down this mill. Meanwhile, this army is finding a bunch of villagers idling around right here. We find 2 siege workshops. We also find the King's Palace, so we're going to drop a battering ram. We're looking for valuable buildings that we can build battering rams near. We find another one, a town center here. It looks like he did actually go for a second town center, so he's on the same number as us. But we're going to try and change that. He has to send his army back. He really doesn't want to, especially since he's engaging with random units back here. He wants to keep it up front, but he cannot produce enough units to... He cannot produce enough units back home to stop my army. And we're getting villager kills. We're getting buildings. I mean, the King's Palace is already under attack, and it only has 2,500 health. It's pretty much the same as the second town center. He's retreated the villagers into the town center, but we're going to start burning it and using the battering ram on it. Look at that, King's Palace nearly dead. And he hasn't really responded. I'm not sure where his units are. I'm just watching my forces tear everything down, and then we see the Berkshire Palace coming up at the front of my base. Mangonel trying to break us free. So we destroy his landmark there, so now he's down to 2 town centers, and looking like he'll be down to 3 soon enough. Or just down to 1, actually. Ooh, we'd love to get the 10 villagers that are in here as well. Those would be juicy kills. And there's his longbowman trying to battle it out with my man-at-arms, but you can see they're so tanky. There's just no stopping them. So he makes it to the Imperial Age, but I'm not sure what he's going for in the Imperial Age. Maybe enclosures, but he's pretty much lost all of his villagers and farms. Wow. It's a lot of dead villagers. Ouch. And he's still having to kite his longbowman back. That's really painful. And yeah, he's got hardened spearmen, but with no upgrades, and he hasn't gotten the veterancy bonus for them either. We're gonna work away on these barracks, and we get enough to go up to the Imperial Age. The Berkshire Palace is a little intimidating, especially now that he's spitting trebuchets out of it, and he's bombing my units. But we've already got our trebuchet, so we're already firing back. And I don't know about this mining operation. I think that's within range of my outposts. I think he's getting a little ahead of himself there. Also, he's losing his entire base here. If we just keep building rams, I'm not sure you can do anything about it. I'm also thinking in my mind, okay, so how are we going to take out the trebuchets and the Berkshire Palace? We're probably going to need Springald and trebuchets, but I'm already on my way to the Imperial Age. So let's just get these siege workshops working once we get to the Imperial Age. Oh, I'll lose my trebuchet there. He uses his own trebuchets to target it down. I'm a little nervous about the trebuchets. If he kills the House of Wisdom in this town center, it's game over for me. Sending my units around. We're trying to find more villagers. Oh, but here come his longbowmen. I think he's going to clean up this battering ram operation we got going. Oh, we're making another over here. I love all the rams. I'm glad I'm just throwing them down everywhere. Sending the Springalds forward. We're going to see if we can't snipe some of these trebuchets. Unfortunately, the Berkshire Palace is just firing so quickly against my Springalds. Yeah, we're going to need culverins. Oh, and it's got a cannon emplacement on it too. So we've made it to the Imperial Age, and now we just need to get the culverin and the bombard out. Problem is, we're actually about to be supply blocked. He destroyed some of our houses. Here we are, just building away in his base and sending in units. This battering ram, which destroyed the King's Palace, is actually moving on to his siege workshops. So yeah, the Trebs are just firing away. But they can't really leave the radius of the Berkshire Palace. Oh, and these longbowmen he left behind. Oof. They're not going to do well. Like, we're just destroying everything. He can't just abandon his base like this. We're going to tear everything down. So, at this point in the game, I really wasn't too worried. There was pretty much just these trebuchets that were annoying my castle over here. And we've got such an army. We decide to come forward. We've got the culverin to snipe his trebs. We've got the bombard to tear down the Berkshire Palace. This is feeling like a good game. I think the strategy to outpost creep early in the game, it was an interesting move. I've seen lots of English players do it, but I think he wasn't aggressive enough and didn't go at multiple angles. Like, he could have slipped through here earlier on when I didn't have a wall down. Like, he has to really spread out to try and find out where are some valuable spots to strike. Yeah, it looks like we're about to get through that Berkshire Palace. Thought he might have had some villagers nearby, but I'm not seeing any. Oh, don't want to lose the culverin. Nice. Nice, and there's the Berkshire Palace destroyed. Now we can send all of our infantry forward. An opponent taps out there. I think it was a strange escalating strategy to go up to the Imperial Age. I feel like he was playing economic catch-up when he made it to the Castle Age, and he needed the King's Palace, his two other town centers, working for a while to really give himself an advantage, and it just didn't work out. Anyway, catch you for the next game. Thanks for tuning in.